All right. Yeah. This place is called the Tyranny. Come join me, for we gather to remember Mytel. Was he a hero of legends? No, he was no hero. He was a coward and traitor, a man born to slither through the slime where the rule of the depraved held sway in the royal courts. Oh yes, my friends, listen well, for the throne stood empty like the eyes of an village idiot. And this slime of man stood behind the empty throne, whispering words, directing movements, unleashing the silken blades to remove all those that were frets and internal threats to the stability of the empire. I only wish I knew what empire he spoke of. There were the fortunate accidents to those that had attractive financial holdings that saw the wealth flow down to feel surprise, surprise. Why? Those rich pickings filled Mytel's expanding personal treasuries. Meanwhile, the stones and mortar that held the empire together began to crack and fall apart. Mytel's viewpoint was that the craftsmen of this age were inferior, stupid louts. Now, if one asked Mytel in what golden age were the craftsmen great makers of the empire's works, Mytel would wave one away and tell them, search out a historian. Now, my fellow travellers journeying with me along this tale, the time has come to impart to you the final moments of Mytel's departure. Did the people rise up and overthrow this dictator? No. Did the legions of the empire march to the capital and throw down Mytel? No. They were too busy repairing the roads to march quickly homewards. Did the assassins paid by the Empire Senate strike him down in the old Emperor's palace? No. The silken blades had become financial consultants to the merchant classes. No, Mytel built a ship of gold and silver, encased it in timber, a means of departure for this thief behind the Empire's counter, a cunning nest egg for Mytel if politics suddenly took up the philosophy of honesty. What brought down Mytel? Why, Mytel brought about his own end. He, like many others bound to the philosophy of wealth and greed, believed the poor outside his door, if given a chance, would take it all. This, my fellow travellers, is a universal fallacy. Mytel's fears grew larger and larger, mirroring his growing financial holdings as the numbers of the poor seemed to him to fill every corner of the empire's capital. Staff were dismissed, and more of his acquaintances went missing. Eventually his fears set sail, and Mytel boarded his secret nest egg ship in haste to make his escape. 10 leagues out to sea, Mytel and his ship sunk into the murky depths. The empire eventually recovered through some financial dredging into the sea's holdings. Mytel's bones were eventually recovered, and they were found to be extremely slimy. I know that's a bad ending, but I had to throw it in. Sorry.